page, I want to go over just a few things. So for number 4, this is one of the ones that some of you guys had a problem with. So if I have 0.436, now, can I ever have decimals over here? So if I move, I have to move this 3 places. I have to move this one 3 places. Some of you guys forgot to add your zeros there. So that's why that answer. So the answer is going to end up being 1,800. So I think, Charlie, you forgot to add the zeros. You moved it. You just forgot to add the zeros to it. But do you see how we do that? Did you get it, Calvin? What'd you say, Charlie? Oh, I see. No. So however many times you have to move it out of here, Charlie, is how many you have to move in here. Does that make sense? Okay. Calvin, stop screen sharing, please. You need to be paying attention to class, okay? Thank you. Okay. So let's see. The next one, you guys are fine. Section 4, Vlada, I'm going to go over, if you can come to the help session today at the end of the day, Vlada, I'm going to go over with the fraction ones for you, since that's something new that I don't think you had that much at Calvary Chapel, did you? Or you were just learning it when you left? We're going to go over that one. Now, section 5, most of you guys actually did very well on this. There's just a lot of it was just little small errors. So section A, we have the first one, you have to do perimeter and area. So I think, Vlad, you forgot to do that. You forgot to do the perimeter part, but I don't know if you were here when we learned. Right. Yeah, you had to do both. That's fine. So area per square is S squared. So we have, it's 3 1/2 squared, which is going to be 7/2 times 7/2. Now, a lot of you got it to here, but you've got to change it. So how many times? So 4 will go into 49, 12 times. So Charlie, what you did is you put these as 1s, not 2s. Do you see that, Charlie? Because you had 7/1 times 7/1. On 5A, on the area, you had 7/, and you forgot to put your denominator as a 2. Do you see that? And then Vlada, you got to 49/4, but then you have to change it. So it would be 4. No, it's fine. You're good. So then when you have it like this, how 4 goes into 4 1 time. Yes. Yeah. Calvin, did you get that one correct? You did? Good. Okay, the other one is just going to be 4 times 7/2, because that's how you find. So perimeter, the perimeter of a square is 4 times S. So P equals 4 times 3 1/2, which is 7/2. So we ended up doing it this way. So P is going to be 14 there, 14. Calvin, we're in class. No. Okay, and then B. This one was just perimeter is 2 times L plus 2 times W. So you just put them in there. And then area is length times width. So I think actually Vlada and Charlie, you both got the area correct on that one. Calvin, I didn't see yours. What did you get for the area for B, for the rectangle, Calvin? Calvin, what did you? Why, wait, no, stay here, Calvin. Why don't you have the answer? Do you not have the answer for B? Calvin, where's the answer for B? Why isn't it on your thing? Okay, you need to make sure you have it on your math paper, okay? So let's go ahead and move. Now keep that math paper. Let's move to page 239 now. So take out today's math paper, page 239. We're not doing 237 because that's a review paper. Go skip to where it says bisecting angles. So get to page 239. So get to 239. So today we're going to be doing bisecting angles. So we're going to take how we drew the angles and we're going to add a step to it. So make sure you have your protractors out with you. There's a lot of extra ones, but we'll do section 1, 2, 3, and 4 together. And then we'll probably do section 5 as well if we can get going through it. So get out your protractors. Calvin, did you end up finding your protractor? Good. So grab your protractor, grab your pencil, your paper, name, number, date for me. Okay, so we're going to move on. So when it means to bisect, oh, I'll wait till she's gone. Okay, so when we talk about bisecting an angle, that means we're dividing it into 2 equal angles. So if I have an angle, say I have an angle of 100 degrees. If I want to cut that into 2 equal angles, Charlie, what are my 2 angles going to be? What is half of 100? So when I draw it, I'm going to make each of these be 50 degrees. So that's how we are bisecting angles today. Now, there are 2 ways you can do it. You can do it with a compass or a protractor. I'm going to teach you the protractor way. To bisect with a protractor, what you would do is you're going to set, so if I have a 90-degree angle. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put my protractor on the bottom where it's supposed to be, and then I'm going to find, so what is half of 90? If I were to divide 90 by 2, it's going to end up being 45 degrees. So I'm going to take my protractor, put it on here, and find where 45 degrees would be, and mark a dot. Then I'm going to take this and draw an even line, and that would make it be 45 degrees. So if I were to have, does that make sense how we're doing that? We got to cut it in half. So let's look at A. Let's bisect these angles using a protractor. So first of all, we need to measure A. So go ahead, put your protractor on. We're doing 1A right now, Vlada. So put your protractor. Okay, you can just work with us right now, and then when you after, like I'll show you what the answer should be, and then when you find your protractor, you can go back and fix them. Okay. So Charlie, measure 1A. How many degrees is the whole thing? Oh, sorry. I thought I unmuted you guys. I guess not. There we go. What is the whole thing? What'd you say? I just couldn't hear you. 60 degrees. So Vlada, if I were to have an angle that is, say this is 60 degrees. If I need to cut that in half, what is 60 divided by 2? 30. So what you're going to do when you have your protractor, Calvin, are you on? Okay, I need to make sure I can see you, okay? So you're going to take your protractor, you're going to put it on the bottom line. Then you need to find where 30 would be on it and mark a dot and then draw a line. And then that is how you got to make sure you have 30 degrees and 30 degrees. And that's how you have dissected it. So Charlie, when you finish A, let me see it. And Calvin, hold it up to the camera when you finish. Yes, Vlada. For which? You're fine. So we're on page 239 right now. Yes, good. Oh, you're good. Okay, good. So go ahead. Charlie, you're correct, except the only thing you need to add, Charlie, is 30 degrees and 30 degrees. Make sure you have the 30 degrees in there. So you need to write 30 degrees to show that both of those angles equal 30. Calvin, let me see it. Very nicely done. Good job, guys. Very good. Vlada, do you have the right page now? Okay, you're good. Does that make a lot? Okay, now, Calvin, I want you to measure B. So, Calvin, go ahead and measure B and tell me how many degrees. So, what you need to do, put your bottom. Okay, so, Calvin, you need to take your protractor, turn your book, and put your protractor along here. And then measure how many degrees. It's going to be bigger than 90. Charlie, also do the same thing. Measure it and tell me how many degrees you think B, the whole thing is. Measure it and tell me what it is. So, Vlada, make sure you're marking that you know that you need to divide these into 30 degrees. So make sure you know that. Mark that on your paper. One second, Calvin. So, Vlada, since you don't have your protractor right now, go to A and beside A, just write 30 degrees so you know when you get your protractor to cut it into 30-degree angles. Good. Charlie, you are correct. Calvin, you're a little too big. So if that was, yes, Vlada. So it's what we're doing. So the same thing, you need to measure it first of all, which is going to be 100 degrees. So if the whole thing is 100, Calvin, what is 100 divided by 2? 50. So we need to make both of these into 50-degree angles. So you do the same thing. Put your protractor, find where 50 would be, and draw your arrow to make it equal to 50 degrees. Okay, quickly, Charlie. Calvin, when you're finished with it, let me know so I can see that you finished it. Vlada, does that make sense what you're doing when you find your protractor? Okay. So just make sure you know that you need to divide these into 50 and this one into 30. So you need to take it and you need to put your protractor on the bottom right here and then find where 30 degrees would be and draw the line. Same thing for this one. Put your protractor here, find where 50 would be and draw the line. Let me see, Calvin. Good, very nicely done, Calvin. That is great. So you guys can go ahead and cross out section 2. We're not going to do section 2. Now, okay, so Charlie, did you finish B yet? With this 50 degrees? Oh, man. Okay, so go ahead and finish that one for me, Charlie. And then hold it up for me. And then you can, yes, and then now you need to divide it into 50. Remember, because you got to divide it in half. And then cross out section 2 and then read through section 3. Remember you said bisect means it's directly in half. So you can do section 3 and then put your protractor down or put your pencil so I know that you have finished that section. Angles. So when I say bisect, it means it's equal. It's 2 equal angles. That line is 2 equal. Very good job, Charlie. So cross off section 2. Now, so is A, guys, look, is A directly cut in half? Yes or no? No. So you need to mark A. Put a circle A. Now, is B directly in half? Yes. So don't mark B. Now, is C directly in half? No, so mark C. So A and C should be marked. Okay, so now, Vlada, just pay attention to this one and you'll see it. We're going to do the exact same thing we did yesterday where we drew an angle and then we're going to have to cut it in half. So first thing you need to do is draw an angle of 100 degrees. So start off with your straight vertex and line and then mark it, make a 100-degree angle. So it's going to be a little bigger than 90. And then what are you going to have to cut your 100-degree in half to what? To 50. Very good job. So you're going to have to draw your 100-degree angle, and then you're going to have to cut them both. Actually, that one's not even equal. I don't have a, I'll have to get one from you. You'll have to cut them both into 50. So when you're finished with A, let me see your angles. When you finish A, let me see your angles. Good, except now you need to cut it into half. You got to make them into 50 now, Calvin, because you got to dissect it as well, or bisect it. Good. So, Charlie, the only thing you need to make sure is you write the 50-degree angles inside both of them. Very good job. Yes, Vlada. You can go ahead and talk. You're unmuted. It's a little too big. I'll let it go for today, but you need to make sure that you have your protractor next time, just so we can have it exactly what it needs to be. I know. I'm sure you'll find it. Okay, so Calvin, did you finish B? Or A, I mean? Okay, so now B. Now you need to draw a 70-degree angle. It's going to be a little less than 90. So you have your 70-degree angle. And then Calvin, if I needed to divide 2 into 70, look up here for me. Calvin, do it with me. How many times will 2 go into 7, Calvin? Two times what is 7? 2 times. No, how many? 2 times what goes into 7? 2 times. No, Calvin, into 7. How many times will 2 go into 7? Calvin, please put your pencil down and look over here, okay? How many times will 2 go into 7? Let's do it, Calvin. Look here. 2, 4. What comes after 4, Calvin? Charlie, go ahead and answer for me. Calvin, just how many times will 2 go into 7? That's it. Calvin, look over here. Look at me. How many times? 2 times what is what 2? Look, Calvin, look here, please. Calvin, 2, 4, 6. So how many times? Charlie, what's the answer there? 3. So then 2 is going to be 35 degrees. So you need to cut this into 35-degree angles. So cut those into 35-degree angles. So get that down. And then let me see your B once you finish that. Let's see. Charlie, did you finish it into your 35-degree angles? Okay, let me see it. Okay, good. Make sure you write it. Very good, Calvin. Good job. Okay, so now we're going to do section 5 together. So, Vlada, you can just write the answers down here. So, we need to measure AOB. So, put your protractor on O to A, and then see where B is going. Now, B is going to be bigger than 90 degrees. So, you need to tell me what AOB is going to be. I heard 95. Good. So, A is going to be 95 degrees. So, make sure you write that down, guys. 5A is 95 degrees. Now, you're going to do BOC. Put your protractor on B to O. This one's going to be small. So measure that and see how many degrees it is. Good. Very good job. Charlie, you're doing really well. 40 degrees. Okay, go ahead and do C, but don't give me the answer yet. Go ahead and do C, which is angle COD. So either put your line on O to D and measure C, or you could do O to C. Message me the answer once you get it. I know, Vlada, you gotta wait. You're fine. Good. Charlie, you're correct. So Calvin, get the answer down. Tell me what it's gonna be. So Calvin, you're a little too big. Let's measure that again. Put your protractor on O to D. So put the bottom, so put this part of your protractor on O to D, and then see where C goes to. What do you have it as? Still too big. Let me see. So let's see. It's gonna actually be, so if I have my circle right here, and I have C, I know this is a bad circle, C. So put your protractor line right here, and then measure what this angle goes to. It's gonna be 115. So C is 115. That's fine. If you do it that way, that's good. So B is 40 degrees, C is 115. Okay, Calvin, I want you to do D. Okay, so measure DOE. So go ahead, Charlie, measure it, but don't say anything. So Calvin, what you need to do, put your protractor line on O to D. Charlie, you're a little too big. Do O to D. Measure, you're too big, Charlie. Oh, who did that? Calvin did that? Oh, Calvin, you're a little too big. So come down some. It's even smaller than that. That one, it's actually going to be halfway. This one's going to be 35 because it's that halfway mark. So this one's going to be 35. Now, you can measure it, or what we can do, how much Vlada is a whole circle? Do you remember how many degrees are in a whole circle? Good. So in order to figure out what the fourth one is, let's add this up. 5 plus 5 is what, guys? Plus 5 is 15. Carry the 1. 1 plus 9 is? Plus 4. 15 plus 3 is going to be? Okay. Calvin, do this with me. What's 1 plus 1? Okay, so now we can subtract it. This becomes a 3, 15. What's 10 minus 5, Vlada? Good. Oh, you're fine. It's 5. And then Calvin, what is 15 minus 8? Good. So my answer for E is going to be 75 degrees. Okay. So what you can do, I'm going to have you, because you already finished all of your math papers, so what you got to do is front work. You're going to do try to do section 6 on your own, but I want all 3 of you to come on to the help session, and we'll do it. If you don't understand it, we'll do it at the help session this afternoon, okay? Got it? Okay, so now we're going to go to history class in about 5 or 6 minutes, so you guys can go ahead and work on a little bit of classwork. 10:30, so you got about 6 minutes till history. So finish up your work, whatever you can now, and then Vlada, find your protractor, okay? So I'll see you guys at 10:30, okay? Okay, bye.